How's everybody doing? This is AKA OnStar, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Free-to-Play Frenzy. And this week we are covering the new Arctic Combat, which just went into open beta yesterday. I had a little bit of time to play around on this game, and surprisingly, for a new game, it didn't choke my computer. I've got an older computer, so I can't really play a lot of the new games. Planet Side, even on the lowest graphics, it just craps out my computer. Hawking, too much lag. But Arctic Combat didn't, which is really nice. So I got some playtime in on it, and overall, it's a very enjoyable game. Overall, it feels a lot like any of the other free-to-play shooters. What is it? Combat Arms, Alliance of Valiant Arms, I believe it is. Any of the free-to-play games like that. It seems a little more polished. There were a couple of issues that I didn't like, but then again, it's still open beta, so these might change in the future. So don't quote me on it. First up, my biggest one is spawn trapping, and I'm not talking like keeping them from exiting their spawn. I'm talking actually getting inside their spawn, and as soon as they pop up, they're dead. I had that happen on a couple matches where my team wasn't pushing up very well, and all of a sudden, next thing we know, we got 3 guys inside our base, and I spawn, and it's like, oh look, there's a guy. Boom, I'm dead. No chance for a retaliation, no chance to escape, and it's always one spawn point. They don't have mobile spawns, or you can't flip the spawns like you can in COD. So that was my biggest gripe, is the spawn trapping. Weapons actually seem fairly balanced, at least from what I was playing with. The SMGs were on par with the assault rifles. I don't know if it was the starter weapon they give you just to get you something to run with. Excuse me. But the weapons seemed all fairly balanced. There wasn't this super OP gun. I kept getting killed by also all sorts of variants, and so that was rather enjoyable. Another little gripe I've got is the fact that there are some categories that just don't have weapons in them yet in the store. There aren't any LMGs and there aren't any shotguns yet, but then again, this is open beta. It's just starting. So I'm hoping that later on in the beta, or once release hits, we'll be able to have the shotguns, the LMGs, because I like running around with LMGs for some reason. I prefer it over like submachine guns or assault rifles. I just like the big, support fire guy. So, the weapons are pretty good. The maps are decent. There seems to be a lot of really close quarters with very odd lines of sight. So there's a lot of turn around a corner and there's a guy there, spray. There's really, it depends on the map, but the lines of sight for snipers, it's not like, hey, I can see 2/3 of the way across the map. It's like I can see halfway across the map if I'm lucky. So it's just something they have to deal with. But overall, it's a very enjoyable game, and one of the things I do like about this, I don't know if it's because it's what they were wanting to do, or if it's just it hasn't been implemented in the beta yet, is the fact that when you buy a gun, you get to keep it. There's no duration on it, like in Combat Arms. You're like, oh, I got to renew it in 2 days. No, you buy the gun, you keep it, just like with Ghost Recon Online. Once you buy it, it's yours, which is really enjoyable for me, because I hate, taking a break for like a week or so to play something else or to do another channel or another video for a channel, and it's like, where's my gun? Oh, I didn't renew it because I wasn't playing. I didn't have the currency. I didn't like that. So in this one, you get to keep the gun, which is really nice. Attachments, there aren't that many in there right now. It's just a couple of camos and 3 different sight options. And it works just like Ghost Recon, where you put on the attachment, and whatever attachment was on there is lost. So if you want it back, you got to rebuy it. But they're all really small prices. It's like 1,000 points for a camo, and like 2,200 for a sight. So it's really easy to swap them back and forth. Makes it a lot easier. So overall, I really like this one. It's going to be interesting to see how it progresses with the beta. So I might keep it. I actually might keep this one on my hard drive and keep checking in on it and see how everything's going. But I'd give this about. I'd probably give it about a 7, maybe an 8. So yeah, it's enjoyable. Let me know what you guys think of it. This has been AKA OnStar, and I hope you've had fun.